Hi, I am Ted Wood, and I'm going to tell you why I'm creating this video right now. I had already made the decision to quit making videos on YouTube because it I wasn't getting the audience that I wanted, and there was no reason for me to do it. I mean, I didn't need the money, but if I could get somebody who was paying attention to what I had to say, that would be a different story. Well, right now, I got to say something because it frustrates me beyond your wildest imagination. I'm not used to this. I'm used to having people that are the commentators or whatever you want to call them, uh, creatives that do content creation and stuff like that, that they get down to the whole detail. All I'm hearing, even though I got this guy, this Venom guy, he is amazing. I mean, he really understands what's going on at a higher flipping level, and but he's still not getting to the point when they say that Caitlin Clark is a diva. Why is she a diva? Who says she's a diva? What are they saying she does that makes her a diva? Now, I'm going to kind of guesstimate here what I think they're concerned about. Let's go back when Stephanie White first took the job, and I'm listening to what she has to say, and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a problem because she didn't want Caitlin to carry the ball up the court. She wanted her to be on the side somewhere and da 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 da. And so she wasn't grasping what Caitlin Clark is all about. Now, I don't buy into the fact that the team is better without Caitlin, period. Not for 0.2 of a second. I'm concerned that when Caitlin has the ball, she's not getting any sticky screens set. Nobody's doing that. Even Aaliyah Boston is not doing it. She will cut to the basket, but she doesn't want to set the screen. I don't understand why no one wants to do it. I don't understand why they don't spread the floor. They end up screening each other out of the play. I'm confused with that. I don't understand why the coach isn't coaching that. The coach doesn't believe in Caitlin. Made that clear from day one. What she was asking Caitlin to do and to be was not what people. It's not what I wanted to see. I mean, I saw Caitlin Clark and I said, "Oh my gosh!" I can remember watching John Stockton and how good John Stockton was at passing the ball, stuff like that. But Stockton didn't, unless it was a wide open Karl Malone throwing a full court pass. He did not throw passes like Caitlin does. And she's hitting people exactly where they need to be hit in stride so they can make the basket. Watch when she does it. It's amazing. But let's talk about why I really believe that they're calling her a diva. Because they don't want her to be Caitlin Clark. And when she says, "Well, can't the coach work with these players to set screens for me? Can't we get the floor spread open a little bit more instead of 2 and 3 players stuck together? Why can't we do that?" Well, they don't want to do that. They don't want her to be the one. Well, why in the world? I'm really frustrated. And like Venom says, the whole crew there, the general manager, the president, and the coach, they're all on the same page. They all are buddies from way back when. And somehow they got the idea that they're better off without Caitlin. I don't understand it, and I don't understand why Caitlin would put up with it. It's you. If she does insist on being traded, which a lot of players do, if she insists on being traded, she could very easily hop out of the frying pan into the fire. No doubt about it in my mind. So there's something wrong. When somebody says something, get them to explain it a little bit better. Now, by her own admission, Stephanie is a very dominant coach. She's high D, type A, whatever you want to call her. And so is Caitlin. I don't think it's Caitlin's, and by the way, I am a certified professional behavior analyst. I'm a certified life coach by the International Association of Coaches. So I know what I see. Let's take a look at the scene that we had on the sidelines where Caitlin and Stephanie got into the issue going on. Look at Caitlin again. Look at her body language. She's holding her hands up like Stephanie has a gun on her. Is that diva behavior? Is that high dominant behavior? She's just trying to explain herself. That's all. But they don't want to hear it because they want her to be who they want her to be, which is not what us fans want to see. It's not where she's going to be what she can be. Here's the thing. You know, and it was one of my favorite things that I used to say to people when they would bring me on as a coach, and I'm going to say it right now to Stephanie White. I see what you're trying to do. How's that working for you? You know, let's go back. If you remember, all of a sudden they get the ball to Caitlin. There's almost nothing left on the clock. She puts up the shot, 3-point shot. Boom! The game is tied and it goes into overtime. Did they give her the ball again? Did they let her take any of the shots? No, they shoved the ball into Aaliyah with a cast of thousands huddled around her so she couldn't she didn't have room to breathe. Now, if they'd have given the ball to Caitlin, either she's going to be open or she'll get the ball to somebody who's open so they can make the shot. Pretty much all the players that are on that team are capable of making a wide open shot. And that's the point. That's why Caitlin Clark leads the world in assists. Because she sees when people are open and she gets them the ball the way they need to get it so they can use it and do it and make it happen. Now, occasionally they'll fumble it anyway, but not that often, and pretty much gets the ball where it's easy for them to catch it. So my frustration is that we're not getting to the bottom of what is totally what's going on. And if that's your job, you're doing what I would like to do if I could make sense of it, but I can't, is to do this kind of where you're, commentating on something. It's great. Why don't they get to the bottom of it? And then when the ones that do, this one guy said, well, I got all these contacts inside the fever and da-da-da-da-da-da, and so it's just not me, I know what I'm, who said it? Who told you this? What were they saying? Why did they say it? And if you don't want to say who they are, just tell us why they said it. Caitlin Clark is a diva? Well, why? Well, what did she do that makes her a diva? To me, when I look at her on the sidelines with her hands up in the air like she's like Stephanie White's holding a gun on her, that's not diva dominant behavior. She's just trying to explain herself, but she wasn't allowed to do that. Bring in this other player. I don't want Caitlin here. Boom. Well, what happened? How did that work for you, Stephanie? She took Caitlin out. Everything was fine. When she took her out, it was 8-4, and then they went down 5 miles into the ozone. My gosh, it was ridiculous. And that's my point, is that we've got those of you who have the job, who have the audience, who are making a living at this, get the job done. Make calls into the Fever. Somebody at the Fever will talk with you. Someone will say something as long as you don't say who it is. You'll get contacts. Just work on it. Keep calling. Get through to somebody. And then, so that we get the full detail. What's going on? Why is she a diva? Oh, she's a diva, huh? Why? What did she say? What did she do? What's going on here? That's not what we see as fans. I see her playing the game. Obviously, she wants to have the ball. You take the ball away from her. How does that work? It doesn't work. Let her do this, and you can win. And it's not like nobody's going to get a chance to be anything else. She'll get the ball to them in a way that they can, if they do what they need to do, set screens, spread the floor, move quickly towards the basket, all that sort of stuff that works, everything's going to be fine. Otherwise, I've made my point for now. My point is, you people that have the audience, get to the bottom of this stuff. Find out what's going on and get us the real full picture. Don't all this name calling stuff. Why? Why did you say this? You said this. What? I'm confused. What do you mean by that? And by the way, I will say this also. This is the way that Caitlin Clark, if she wants to work with Stephanie White, if she can work with Stephanie White, she has to be able to phrase things. First of all, there can only be one king. There can only be, when you have two dominant people, and I'm going to give Caitlin credit for being dominant when I don't think that's her primary position. You can only have one person be the king, as I said before, or in this case, the queen, if you will. Okay, but it's not going to be Caitlin because she's not the coach. Let the coach be the queen, but say something like this: Coach, can I talk with you for a minute? Where we can you and I can have a chat. I think I have an answer that we can be happy with. Here's my concern. Okay, number one, it's not going to be good for either of us if we keep losing. We can't lose. We have to win. If we can win, nothing's going to be a problem. It'll all go away. But if we don't win, it's going to get real ugly real fast. Count on that. And it's usually the coaches that end up losing their job, not the player. Because if they in the end it doesn't want me, believe me, I'll do okay. There'll be someone who will let me play. All right? So here's what, and I don't mean to say that. What I'm really trying to say is simply this. Coach, if we don't win, we both got a problem here. It's just not going to work. I'm confused. I really am. What I don't understand is that if I have the ball, I have a reputation of winning. I have a reputation of sharing the ball with other players. And you see that in the way that I play. I'm not afraid to get it to somebody else if they're open and have a chance to make a shot. And if not, I'll take a shot. And the shots that I take, look at my percentages. Let me play, and let's see what's happening. That's all I'm asking. And then when we're coaching, would it be possible? Let me know. Would it be possible to, practice setting screens for me? Could we practice that? Could we practice spreading the floor when I've got the ball? In fact, that'd probably be a good idea no matter who's got the ball. What do you think? We've got players screening each other out of the play. They're so close to each other that I don't understand how that's a good idea. So, okay, it's very important to me that I get a chance to do this the right way. And if so, you have my word. We're going to start winning. We'll win. Don't worry about it. Just let me play. And then we can win. Is that okay, Coach? Is that, So you never make a statement to a highly dominant coach. You ask a question, but the question is a statement. And so that's my point, is that it's a behavioral problem between the two of them, more so than it's a question of competence if they're able to, and I think what was happening when they were on the sidelines is I think the coach was getting on Caitlin about her defense. She got a foul called. But if you played the scene back, you'd see there's like more than a foot of space between her and the other player. She didn't foul. Why isn't the coach backing her up and calling for a replay? That's what I would have liked to have seen. But that's my point, and I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you. God bless you. I hope you all do well. See ya. Bye.